Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. A Fitness Live every Sunday, 12 Eastern Time. Today we're talking about the 10 things I wish I knew before I started lifting. But first,
updates. All right. What updates do we have for everyone?
The apparel store is up and live.
It is, you guys. I dropped a link to it right there in the chat. So definitely take some time during today's live to check out the different items. There's definitely something for everybody on there. So definitely check it out. Let us know what you think. What other updates? How's the bulk going?
Bulk's going really well. I gained a pound this week, which is what I want to do, between a pound and 2 pounds a week. So fantastic. Hit the goal, hit it right on the number, and up the calories another 200 for the next week.
Nice, very nice. I actually somehow lost weight, you guys. It's it's kind of funny. Like the whole time you're in contest prep, you're like shaving the weight off, doing everything you can. And now when I'm okay with like maintaining or slightly gaining, it's kind of like, oh, I'm just going to lose all this weight. But, you know, I am pretty pleased. I am eating almost 2.5 times what I was that week before the show. So that is incredible to say that I'm able to metabolize that much food. But all that means is that I'm still in a slight deficit and I'm closing that gap, right? So each week I'm adding a little bit of extra calories in there, and eventually I won't keep losing weight. I'll either maintain or start to gain a little bit of weight. So there's one really important update that James forgot for you guys. Next Tuesday's his birthday. Yeah. So yeah, happy early birthday, James.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. I'm sure he is too.
We already celebrated like 7 times, so I'm kind of over it.
It's been like an entire month of September celebrating James's birthday. First with our trip to West Virginia, and then yesterday we actually went to a seafood and wine festival. So very nice outing with family and friends.
Yes, it was very much fun.
Yeah.
Aileen's on. Welcome back, Aileen.
Good
Hey,
morning.
stock at 192. Go up calories to 3,200. Fantastic, brother.
That's good. That's a lot of food. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm at 2,900. I'm right behind you there.
Yeah. For those that may be new to our channel, welcome to our Sunday Live. This is where we talk about all things hypertrophy, which is gaining muscle. And we always have a topic, but of course, if you have any questions, even if it's completely unrelated to our topic, you can fire them away in the chat and we'll get right on answering them for you in real time. But today's topic's a pretty fun one. We're going to share with you the 10 things that we really wish someone would have told us when we, just started our lifting journeys and our bodybuilding journeys. And these go from things to do with, the mindset, the diet, as well as like tips in the gym and recovery. So we're going to cover the full gambit today and share some of those like hard lessons that we've learned over the years.
Big T's on. Welcome back, Big T. Yeah, baby.
Yeah. And so whether you compete or not, maybe you're just living that bodybuilding lifestyle, the topics and 10 things that we're going to talk about today will cover both of that for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we lived through the mistakes that we made early on and learn from them and change things. So we're going to tell you the mistakes so you don't have to make them.
So yeah, if you're looking to build muscle and not get slowed down by these like 10 big mistakes, definitely get the notepad out and start taking notes there.
Yeah.
But number one on our top 10 list is, you're not going to look like that overnight, right? So like I would love to, wake up and look just like, I don't know, Linda Murray or Dana Lynn Bailey or, whoever, but it doesn't work that way. And I'm sure James would love to have Ronnie Coleman's legs, but, that takes time. That's not something that is going to happen, at a snap of a finger.
Yes.
So.
Dave and Buster's back. Good morning, Dave. Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
I started in the 90s looking at the magazines, and I had in my head, by the time I'm 30, and I was 19, 20, 21, 22 at the time, by the time I'm 30, I'm going to look like Ronnie Coleman.
Good goal.
That gave me, I would say, 8 years. I said in 8 years, I'm going to look like Ronnie Coleman. That was in my head, that's what I was going to do. And today it seems like these kids are like, I'm going to look like Ronnie Coleman in 6 months.
Right.
It just doesn't happen that way.
I was going to say, your 8 years is like a lot more realistic than a lot of the clients that come to us. You know, a lot of the female athletes, especially, they're looking for very full glutes, almost like that woman's wellness look to them. And they're pretty, you know, lean to begin with, or thin. And so I have to always say, like, you know, realistically, it's going to take you 2 years of hard work just to build a base foundation of muscle. So don't expect to go out there looking like the top wellness Olympian, because that's going to take probably a decade or more. And that's why a lot of times you see a lot of older female athletes at that level.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but he said, you know, he was a top bodybuilder. He said, listen, you really start to see the difference once you hit that 20-year mark.
Right.
The 20-year of consistently training, you see the physiques that make it that far, and they are next level compared to the ones that haven't hit the 20-year mark yet.
Becky's back. I'm
Welcome
so
back,
happy.
Becky.
That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, you know, in reality, growth takes time. It's very small. You know, if you're able to put on like 5 pounds of muscle in a year, 8 pounds, like that is rewarding. That is incredible. And you should notice a difference. But when you're sitting there looking at week to week check-ins and you're like, man, like nothing, this is too slow. Like that's just the name of the game, unfortunately. So not to be, you know, Debbie Downer here on our first tip out of the 10, but growth takes time, you guys. So make sure you kind of have that reality check with yourself.
Yeah, and it's you see it every day on the social media. Future Olympian. God bless you. I love the goals, but you shouldn't really be. That shouldn't be your goal when you look like you never walked into the gym in your life. Your goal should be win my first local show.
Yeah.
Not future Olympian. Get to my first local show, right? Not future Olympian. So it's kind of putting the cart before the horse. But I like the goal. I like the mindset. Just realize most of them aren't going to make it that far, and they're going to quit before they even get close.
Yeah, so you bring up a good point, right? Like they're advertising the goals to be like the next Olympian, but if instead of that type of goal, you fall in love with the process, you know, you're not going to end up quitting before that real change happens. Yeah. So just something to think about. It might be of just a reframing of your goal there to help with that. But, you know, we have a lot of clients that have made substantial progress in the gym, and it's fun to see them year after year, that little bit of growth. Even myself, I was surprised, you know, I took about 4 years off from the stage. And so those last few photos leading up to the show, I was doing some side-by-sides, and it's like, whoa, I really did put on a lot of size in my glutes. I changed the shape of my glutes, put a lot of hamstrings on. And no, they're not anywhere where, you know, I want them to be, but I have to stop back and like reality check myself and say, hey, like that amount of progress was substantial, and that is incredible. Yeah. So,
and 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 4 years of grinding, you guys.
Dave & Buster, muscle memory helped me, but after that, definitely slowed down. Yeah, that's the frustrating part. You know, when I started, I was deployed overseas, and we got a tent with weights in it, and that's the first time I was consistent for a long time. And I put on some good size. I left at 175. I came back at 210. I wish the gains kept coming that fast, baby. Man, I wish the gains kept coming that fast. Unfortunately, they slowed down and slow down. And the further you get into this, the harder you got to work, and still the slower the gains come.
I mean, that's a good segue into tip number 2 or point number 2. You know, progress is not linear, you guys. Like, you know, when you are a beginner lifter, you just feel invincible. Like you're making gains like this, but at some point that does slow down, right? And you're not kind of following that same steep growth curve. Yep. It takes longer. So, you know, something to keep in mind.
Yeah. Fallen Angel's back. Hey. What's up, Fallen Angel? Yeah, and that gets frustrating, especially when you come out of the gates like I did at 90 miles an hour, and then it slows down and slows down and slows down, and the gains, I mean, they're coming, but not like that first year, man. Not like the first 2 years. Becky, this is reassuring. I will improve. Just lean into patience.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something to be said for those that have the patience and the fortitude to stick it out year after year. You know, because it isn't going to be instantaneous. So you are going to have all these ups and downs with growth. You know, for me personally, one of the things that I don't necessarily chase growth. I kind of chase strength. And as a result of chasing some of those strength goals with the weightlifting, you end up seeing growth as a byproduct of that. So it's another way to look at it, you know, but you're definitely going to have lots of ups and downs, injuries, life happens. So a lot of different things there.
Indeed. I mean, well said, especially at this age. You know, you crank up the leg workouts and the second one in, you strain a hamstring, baby. But you keep growing, you keep grinding the gains, you know, as if they're still coming. They're slow, but they're still coming, right?
Yeah.
All right, where we at?
Fallen Angel.
Fallen Angel. Yo, how can I get past a plateau? I feel like now I'm lifting to maintain my weight and gains, but I want to break through. We're going to need a lot more information than that, bro. What have you been doing? Hit us up on Instagram or email 88 Fitness for that question. And we'll have to dig into your past a little bit. How long you've been consistent? What are you doing now? What are your calories? How long you've been tracking? How long you've been consistent with your workouts?
How long have you been resting?
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Big T. Wish I never thought that doing keto was the goal to lose weight. So glad now I actually eat carbs. Was doing keto for 2 years and messed with my metabolism.
Interesting.
I remember that, Big T. I remember when you've been doing keto. You know, different diets for different people. If they work, they work. But I would recommend just a healthy diet with carbs, proteins, and fats. I wouldn't cut out any of your macros unless you have a reason to. And I can't think of a reason to cut out.
I mean, maybe if you have like diabetes or something, you know, maybe you're eating a little less carbohydrates or at least like lower glycemic index foods and things like that. But anytime you can eat a balanced diet, it's going to be preferable. So,
Aileen, I can't wait. Just want bigger legs than James.
Goals.
About your hamstring, all good. I hope it's getting better. I got leg day on Monday, so we'll see. I'm obviously not gonna push the hamstrings, but hopefully I can squat and leg press and whatnot.
Cross your fingers.
We'll see.
I'm just hoping I stay injury free, you guys. So far, so good. I got a little something weird with my shoulder, but for the most part, I feel great. So that's a good thing. Number 2 is just remind yourselves that progress is not linear. So you're going to have lots of peaks and valleys and plateaus. And when that happens, just take a moment to reflect and try to look at like why that's happening. And is that normal? Because sometimes that's just normal. And you have to just kind of push past that and keep going, and then you'll be unstuck.
You can even make strength gains for a couple months before you see any size gains.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I've gotten stronger for 3 months at a time without making any size gain. And then all of a sudden, the 4th month, size comes on. So again, it's not linear.
Aileen, Fallen Angel. I do legs on Monday too. LOL. A lot of people at the gym think I'm crazy for doing legs on Monday. What is it, like International Chest Day?
Yeah, International Chest Day is Monday. So if you go in there and do chest, you're going to be fighting for a bench and everything else. You go do legs, crickets.
I actually do legs on Mondays too. That's just how it usually ends up anyway.
Yeah. Aileen, just add abductor exercise.
Nice.
Yeah, I could do that, but I got a strained groin right now as well. Welcome to your 49, right? Dave and Buffs, I broke a plateau by micro-loading. I figured out I was still growing, just couldn't jump 5 pounds in one shot.
That's a good point. That happens a lot.
Yep.
A lot.
So 5-pound plate on each side is a 10-pound jump. That's a pretty big strength jump when you're talking about maximum strength. Going up 10 pounds is pretty big stretch. You got 2.5-pound plates. That's still 5 pounds. You get a smaller one there. I've seen the magnet ones they put on. I've seen littler plates than that. It is a good thing because, again, you're talking max strength.
Exactly.
Okay, go as hard as you can, as strong as you can, and then put 5 pounds on top of that. Whoa.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I just did as much as I could. What do you mean add 5 pounds to that?
Yeah, a lot of times, Dave and Buster, when I'm in that situation because I'm working with barbells, I'll just keep adding reps. Even if I'm over the like 10 rep range, I'll go to 10 or 15 and keep doing that until it's like so easy that I'm confident I can jump that 5 pound worth of plate weight.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Fallen Angel, yeah, people literally fist fight over the bench on Monday. Like it's not worth it. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Nope, I'll go do legs.
Yep, for sure. So, yep, tip number 2 is just progress is not linear, you guys. So expect fluctuations, embrace them, and, you know, zoom out a little bit. Like, don't be so, like, consumed and narrow focused, you know, in terms of, you know, days and weeks. Think about maybe months or quarters or years, right? Like, kind of get that macro perspective versus the micro perspective in there.
Yeah, we talked about it before. When you talk about the competitor and the sport of bodybuilding, you compete 1 or 2 times a year and they are very close together. And then you work that entire year to fix that weak point and then come back, compete once or maybe twice again, very close together. And now you got new weak points you got to work on for the entire year and then come back, repeat. You work on a year cycle. You do.
I mean, I'm always talking myself out of clients because they'll say, well, what do I need to work on? I'm like, hey, you know, I think you need more than just kind of like those few months of the show and then the building, right? Like, I think you should go a year and a half. So you have that full 12 months of build cycle in there and not go into the deficit. So yeah, always talking myself out of clients there.
Yeah. J.O.D., sir, ma'am, can you please tell me how much bodybuilding spend for 3 months, 5 months prep? Cost of, oh man.
That's a lot. I gotta bust out the calculator, but it can be quite a bit.
Have we done that? Have we done a video on that?
I think we did do a cost video. It was maybe a month ago. We were talking about, we split it up. We had like the cost of the food aspect for bodybuilding, and then we had split up the cost for like the training, the supplements, the show, and all that.
Maybe we can do that live next week.
So yeah, we could do it again if that's something of interest to you guys. But it's an expensive hobby. I'll tell you that.
It's just like any other hobby. You're going to put your money into it. I know, you know, fishing, hunting, dirt bikes, boats, old cars. I mean, you name it, it will suck your money dry, depending on how deep you get into it. I mean, it will take all your money if you let it.
Yeah, I mean, a part of it too is just like how well do you do on your own and how much coaching and things do you need?
Yeah.
I have a lot of clients, they're like, no matter how hard I try, I can't get the levels of intensity I need to. So I have to have you kind of there guiding me through those workouts.
Yep.
And then I've got others that can hit those intensities. So they're just getting written programs, you know, and it's a little more cost effective. So it all depends on your comfort level and how intense you can go on your own sometimes.
True. Tina's back. Hey, Tina. Welcome
I haven't
back.
seen you in a while.
Fallen Angel, can I ask you both what inspired you to get into bodybuilding?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I know my answer. It's this guy right here, right? Just years of watching him kind of go for it and kind of prepping alongside of him. I was like, you know what? Like, I think I want to get up there and try it too. It's kind of the next level of my fitness journey there. So he was definitely my inspiration to hit the stage for the first time.
I told this story before. Growing up, you know, the kids are in the neighborhood. We're all very athletic. I was one of the best. So if anybody could beat me at any sport, they were going to be a professional at it. Well, I got to the point where the kids around the neighborhood were beating me at every sport. Once again, I'm pretty athletic. I was pretty good, and these guys were beating me. So they're going to be professional baseball, professional basketball, professional football. I have to find something to be professional at just to keep up with the neighborhood kids, right? The neighborhood guys, my brother included, because I grew up with him as well. Well, that I, you know, very early on realized I wasn't going to make it in the major sports, hockey, football, basketball, baseball. So bodybuilding was the route I took.
Thanks.
I might have been able to go pretty far with wrestling, but I don't think I would have made it to the pro level. So once again, I learned at a very young age, bodybuilding was my only road to professional athleticism. So that's what inspired me at a very young age. Of course, I didn't really get serious and catch on until that deployment at 19 years old. But I realized very young, if I want to be a professional athlete, this is the only avenue that's going to work for me.
Very nice.
Judy, bodybuilder or not competing for prize money, they're competing because they love the sport. Is that true? 100%, brother.
Yeah,
there isn't enough money in it unless you love it. Trust me on that one. Only the top 10 guys in the sport are making money. Other than that, nobody's making money in this sport.
I mean, even the top guys making the prize money, it's really not that much. I mean, they're really kind of getting by on other streams of income. A lot of them start like supplement companies, apparel
Social
companies,
media,
or have other just businesses going on top of all of that. So yeah, it has to be for the love of the sport. Absolutely. All right, you guys, moving right along. Number 3 of 10 is form over ego. Every time, you guys, like, you have to have the proper mechanics to build muscle faster. If you're doing a bunch of sloppy cheater reps, you're not going to trigger the mechanisms of hypertrophy. You're just not, unfortunately. So yeah, I think we've all kind of had that ego lifter phase. I mean, even James and I kind of are guilty of that from time to time. But, you know, dial that ego back, right? Sometimes, like, it's okay to get in there and lift lighter weights, but use better form and reach that technical failure to trigger the growth.
I think this goes back to somewhat of education is too, you know, thinking in my mind, if I lift that heavy weight, I'm going to get the best gains. Doesn't matter how I lift it. As long as I lift it, I'm going to get the best gains. That's not true. I mean, my nephew, God bless him, sent me a video of him squatting 400 or 500 pounds. And I said, dude, you're going to be a whole lot better if you lighten the weight and go all the way down into your squats. You're going to make more muscle. You're going to get stronger and you're going to have less injuries. Right. Please lighten up the weight and do good form.
Yeah, definitely. Always quality reps, you guys. Like, real muscle is definitely built from having full control of that weight, using the perfect form. You know, reps have 3 portions of the lift, so make sure that you're focusing on all 3 of those portions. You're not neglecting one of them versus the other. It's all about smart execution when you're in there. Leave the PRs to the power lifters, unless you are one. So yeah, it's more about slow and control and the quality of the rep that you're doing when you're trying to build quality size. So keep that in mind.
Yep. Dave and Buffs, I love the challenge and the satisfaction of making a goal. There is something to be said about that. You hit that goal, man. You did something you weren't able to do before. It is very satisfying. 100%. I agree with that one. Fallen Angel, man, this is one thing I'm trying to work on. Better form and mind and muscle connection. Can't beat it, brother.
Absolutely.
Once you lock that down, get it down, you're good to go. Aileen, a little bit of cheating on the last set doesn't hurt. Excuse me. Right. I'll agree somewhat. Like, if it's scheduled. So in other words, if you're doing partial reps at the end of your set, yes, absolutely. If you're just sloppily throwing the weight around to try to get your reps, no.
Yeah.
But if you go ahead, hit failure, and then knock out a couple partials because you're supposed to, it's programmed into your workout that day, 100%. 100%. All right. Fallen Angel, yeah, powerlifting is a totally different sport that is for the extreme, yes?
Yes, very true.
And once again, they don't care about hypertrophy. They don't care how they look. They just care about moving that weight.
I mean, their sport's very technical too. But yeah, absolutely.
Tina, sometimes I cannot go heavier in a workout, but I honestly can say I've gone deeper in the range of motion, and that is better progressive overload. Yes, it is.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
I had to call myself out. It was probably like 6 months ago on leg curls. I was trying to like progress through the weight stack. And I said, you know what? These reps they suck. They suck. You know what? I'm going to dial this thing back by 20 pounds, and I'm going to focus on control and that 3-second eccentric, portion of the lift.
Yeah.
You know, it probably took me 4 months to move back up my 20 pounds, but I was able to master that level of control and quality in the rep. And so that made a big difference, right? So sometimes look back at your lifts, maybe even record yourselves and say, like, is this executed with precision? And if it's not, then call yourself out and fix it for sure.
100%. I think it was Dennis Wolf who started training with Charles Glass. And he said, man, he could make 5 pounds feel like 500 pounds.
I bet.
It's a big difference. You slow yourself down. You do the correct weight. You pause at the middle of the rep. I mean, it's a huge difference in just getting in there and throwing weights around.
Yeah, same thing. I do a lot of like 1 second pauses in the stretched position when I lift now, which has forced me to dial a lot of my weights way back. Yeah. A lot of people are just banging out those reps so fast, they're never taking time to pause like that. So like that alone can trigger more growth just by taking that split second pause before coming back up out of the rep.
Yeah. All right, Aileen, if form breaks, is it okay to do a back off set? Do we get this a lot?
We do get this a lot. I guess it depends, right? It depends on like, why did your form break? There's times where I do a back off set, and then there's other times I don't. For me, it has to do with like the rep range. James and I actually just had this conversation. I was out in the gym. I was hitting dumbbell chest press. I was really trying to push with the 60 pounds. I think I got 4.5 reps or something like that. I was like, should I do a back off set? And we were like, you know what? The 4 is close enough to the 6 that I was going for. So in that case, no. But if I would have got like 2 or 3 reps, I probably would have did a back off set in that case.
She beat me to it.
Yeah.
So it depends. But if you're close to hitting the reps, I wouldn't do a back off set. Same thing. If you're not close, yeah, go ahead and lighten it, do another set. But if you're close, I would just can it, go back next week, and then hit the reps. All right. Jayudi, can I use testosterone and ethate for building lean muscle mass?
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what that is in particular.
I don't know what that is either. But if it's testosterone, it's going to work. It's just illegal to use if you're in the United States. Aileen says okay.
Okay. So yeah, all right, moving along, you guys. Number 4, something that we wish we kind of knew when we were getting started is that diet is only really 80% of it, right? Like you cannot outlift a bad diet. And we get asked that a lot. We see it a lot.
All the time.
You know, you can train your ass off, but if your nutrition is not on point, you're just spinning wheels, you guys. Like, you really are.
You're not going to lean out with a bad diet. It's not going to happen. You know, I told the story about the 3 guys at Gold's Gym. They came in, they were regulars. They were big dudes, but they were never lean. Guess what? Well, I'm going to go home and eat hot dogs. And I was like, what? Well, I'll just take 3 fat burners. It'll be okay. Not a one of them ever leaned out. In the 10 years I was there, they were regulars. They were big. They were muscular, but they never leaned out.
Right.
They never cleaned up their diet enough to lean out, to look good. They just look like husky, you know, big husky men. Never once leaned out. So once again, you're not going to outwork out a bad diet. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Fallen Angel says, I'm guilty of this. Definitely want to improve the diet. I mean, even in a growth phase, you guys, like if you remember at the beginning, I said, hey, we're celebrating James's birthday. We went to this seafood and wine festival yesterday. Believe me, I would have loved to come home and hammer some pizza, something greasy and nasty, right? But what did we eat? We had chicken breasts, green beans, and I think I had some red skin potatoes, right? Like that was our dinner because I'm trying to build quality muscle, which means I need to feed my body quality food. So was that pizza going to help me get the gains? No, I'm just going to end up feeling like crap today and not be able to get my lifting session in. So, you know, you got to ask yourself, what are your goals?
What's it worth?
And what's it worth to you? And not only that, like you need to understand macros, you need to understand micronutrients, hydration, food timing, because all of this can really break your physique. So
yeah, Body for Life was out in the 90s, and the gist of it was you are cheating your body. You're cheating your gains if you're not eating the high quality food you should be eating, because you're just throwing it away, eating hot dogs, ice cream, and pizza, right?
Right.
I mean, what's all that stuff worth anyway? We're not little kids, so ice cream is nothing to me. Hot dog is nothing to me. Even pizza is like, I'm good. You know, think of it as quality. You know, what do you want out of this? What do you want out of life? What do you want out of your physique? And then eat accordingly.
Yeah.
Oh, where we at? Jay Udy, sometimes I take a high protein meals for muscle building program, but I got a constipation problem, stomach upset. Any suggestions for that? I just came up on my feed. Yeah, you're missing fiber, brother.
Yeah.
You got to get more fiber into your diet. Keep the high protein, but add in fiber.
Yeah, some like leafy greens or something like that could help. What's some of that protein that you're eating too? But yeah, we have a lot of clients that go through that, especially when that protein starts to creep up really high. Sometimes the source of the protein too. Like a lot of my clients that are eating like nothing but protein shakes will have that issue. But if they get some kind of variety in the protein choice that they're getting, it seems to help them as well.
Yeah, once again, make sure you're getting a good, healthy diet, and it covers all your macro and micronutrients, including fiber.
Yeah. So Tina asked me if I compete every year. So I would say between 2019 and 21, I pretty much did. But the last time in 21, when I did a national show, I was like, you know, I really need to put some size and fix my legs, right? Like I'm really not going to get anywhere. I'm spinning wheels here, hitting the stage. So that's when I kind of took a 4-year hiatus to really try to put on some more size. And so this is actually my first year back in 4 years. I do plan to go out and compete next November. So not this coming one, but 2026 at a national show. So I've got just about a year to try to put more size on and balance out that physique.
Get to work.
Yeah.
All right. Fallen Angel, it's also hard when everyone around you is eating unhealthy. We got to be better. I disagree, Fallen Angel. Everybody I know knows I'm a bodybuilder, so I have to set the standard. I find it easier when everybody else is around to eat healthy. It's when I'm by myself where I find it hard, because I have to set that example. The last thing I want to do is have somebody say, hey, James is eating a donut. I can have his physique and eat donuts all the time, just like he does. Yeah. So, yeah, you know, I understand you're tempted, but you got to set the standard around your friends, around your family. If they know your goals, you definitely have to set the standard. Hey, I'm losing weight. You go ahead. I'll sit here and eat my broccoli or whatever it is, because I'm setting that standard now.
It is funny. I think it was a week or two after the show, my company was having a big like organizational day. And I was like, James, I'm so excited. There's this taco truck. Like I've dieted so hard. Like this is what I really want. And you better believe I was walking around with my tacos and everyone was like, what's happening? Camille's eating tacos. Like she's eating at a work event. Like it was crazy. I almost felt like I had to hide in my car and eat my tacos, because to your point, that's the like standard I have set in my workplace with my coworkers. So they expect me to be always eating clean and healthy.
Yep. And you should be. All right, Dave and Buffs, I learned that recovery is as important as the workout. Don't rush to get back into the gym until you're really ready. You will get bigger, stronger, faster. That's one of our bullets. We're not there yet, Dave. We're not there yet, David.
Hey, Angel's on.
Angel's back. Welcome back, Angel. Big T, one thing I wish I knew, you cannot spot reduce certain areas of your physique.
I wish.
No such thing as spot reducing fat.
Yeah.
Everybody says, I want to lose the fat right here. Well, that's not how it works. As a matter of fact, that's probably the last place.
It's always the last place. But Terrence brings up a good point. We want to hear from you guys. What are things that you wish someone told you about weightlifting? Because most of y'all are intermediate to advanced. So I want to hear from you guys. Maybe James and I will learn a tip or two. So definitely share with us.
All right, Deep Voice 1. Welcome, Deep Voice. The Ninja
Creamy
Remedies, the ice cream itch with various protein powders and high protein milks and cleaner ingredients that you put into the mix.
I believe that. Yeah, a lot of my clients have Ninja Creamies. I would love one. James and I have such a tiny kitchen that we have no place for appliances. So yeah, he would probably kill me if I brought home another appliance. But we do make something kind of similar to that. I take Greek yogurt, a little bit of whipped cream cheese, some sugar-free like Jello pudding, and protein powder, and it makes like this creamy cheesecake-like dessert, and it's super high in protein and pretty low in carbs. So very similar to the Ninja Creamy products that people make, for sure.
Yeah, if you're looking for a healthy snaggy, it's a pretty good one.
That's right, Fallen Angel. I earned those tacos.
Okay. Are you going to read it? Camille, I think you earned those tacos for competing on stage.
It wasn't only that, you guys. Like that particular day, there was a work event. I did a 1.5 mile run. It was like 144 push-ups, squats, lunges. You know, it was a very, very intense challenge at work that I did. And so that's really why I was like, I'm rewarding myself with tacos today for that. But yeah.
Aileen, at work, they laugh at me, hey, chicken and rice or rice and chicken.
Pretty much.
Well said. And you're fueling your body with chicken and rice. Bodybuilding staple, very healthy food. It's going to be better than any pizza, ice cream, et cetera, et cetera. So good on you, Aileen. Good on you. And matter of fact, go ahead and make fun of me and watch what I'm eating, because 6 months from now, you're going to ask, hey, how can I get like that?
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to like the answer.
It happens every time. They're going to start making fun of you. And then a couple months later, hey, I want to look like that. How are you doing that? Well, I'm doing it the way you're making fun of me, by eating chicken and rice every day.
Yeah.
All right, Tina, I love that we can spot gain, though. Yeah.
Yes, you can. You can definitely like bias your workouts to make gains in specific area. So that is very true.
That's why
bodybuilding.
Right. That's why CrossFit doesn't work, because the workout of the day is the workout of the day. It's not tailored to you. It's not tailored to your weak points. It's not tailored to, hey, I want to grow a booty.
Yeah.
Jayudi, how to boost metabolism. That's another big one, man.
Yeah. It really depends. Everyone's so different when it comes to metabolism. Like, I couldn't give you any general advice on that. Like, it really depends on like, how are you currently eating, what supplements you're taking, what are you doing for like cardiovascular activity, weightlifting, and all that.
Yeah.
But once you kind of figure it out and biohack yourself, you can definitely get your own metabolism fired up. In fact, I just had a conversation with a client about this, because they had copied somebody else's macros that I had done for them. And they were like, you know, I am just feeling like completely drained after my workouts. I was like, yeah, because you're doing someone else's macros. Like, we need to dial in the nutrition for you, your body, like your level of physical activity and all of that to get the metabolism firing properly.
Yep. Dave Buster, learn to love the grindy reps. That's where the gains are at. You are correct, sir. The last few reps is where the gains are at. It's not your first few reps.
I literally said that to my client this morning. I was like, you know that burn you feel after like, 6 to 8 of them? Yeah. Like the reps after that are the ones that are making the muscle.
Yeah. I've used this quote a million times, but I can't remember if it's Arnold Schwarzenegger or Muhammad Ali. They said, I wait till it starts to burn. Then I count 10.
Exactly.
All right. Where are we at here? Fallen Angel, what kind of rice do you guys eat? White or brown? I don't eat brown rice. What do we eat?
Yeah, we just eat white rice. I feel
jasmine, isn't it?
Yeah, jasmine. For me, I feel like I digest it a little better. So that's like a personal preference for me.
Same. Brown rice messes my stomach up, so I don't do it. Holy cow. Okay. Fallen Angel, if you have a fast metabolism, you burn through everything, but don't go crazy. Eat junk food. That will wreck your metabolism.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to look for those calorically dense foods if that's the case for you.
Yeah. King Darius, hey, lovely people. Welcome back, Darius. Big T, one thing I wish I knew, not needing to be in the gym for 2 hours of training.
Yes.
Now doing less time with max effort has made a difference. We're not there yet, Big T. That's another bullet coming up. Freddie's Gym, welcome back, Freddie, or welcome, Freddie. Bodybuilders are underrated. We have an obesity issue, and bodybuilders are professionals at losing body fat. They deserve a seat at the table, first line of defense. Well said, my man.
Very well said.
It's in the fighting sports as well, wrestling, boxing, etc. They've got to cut weight. They know how to do it.
It's funny. I saw like some memes recently. It's like, when did eating a balanced, healthy diet become like a diet? right? Like that should be the norm. It's like it should not be like this crazy thing when you post your food and they're like, well, that's diet food. Like, what? No.
Aileen, so now James needs those multivitamins for mental.
Yes. We got one more year, Aileen. He turned 49 on Tuesday, but yes, it's coming.
I'm getting close, brother. I'm getting close. I feel it too. Let me tell you. Jody, best time to take creatine supplements for muscle building, pre-workout or post-workout. Doesn't matter as long as you take it every day.
Jody, I take it but that exact way. I take some before and some after. Covers my bases. So I'll split it up.
But it doesn't matter as long as you take it every 24 hours. It's in your system.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday, catching up on me. Thank you, Aileen.
Yeah. All right, you guys, let's move along here. Number 5 for things we wish we knew before we start weightlifting. You got to be careful what you wish for, right? Body dysmorphia can hit really, really hard, you guys. Like, you think that it's easier to have this shredded elite physique and it's going to make you feel amazing. But for a lot of people, it can be quite the opposite. Like, you fall into this trap of chasing perfection and you stop seeing how far you've come. Like, it can be very, very hard on you.
Yeah, I mean, you go up to the biggest guy in the gym and he'll look in the mirror and say, I'm small, I'm small. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Smack him around. What's wrong with you? You're the biggest dude in here. You're dwarfing everybody. But when you look in the mirror, you're going, I'm small. There's something wrong there, brother.
Yeah, I mean, we're all guilty of it, right? Like, me and James were out in Myrtle Beach at this Planet Fitness, and we walked in, we're like, why are we the smallest? I was like, I don't think we're actually the smallest ones in here, but like, there were some jacked physiques in there that
Planet Fitness. We were like, what is going on in Myrtle Beach? Planet Fitness. Holy smokes.
For sure.
All right, King Darius, I wish I was more focused on controlling the weight at full range of motion versus trying to go as heavy as possible. That was our first bullet, I think.
Yep.
Fallen Angel, happy late birthday, James. Thank you, thank you. Penny, hi, guys. And Michelle, hey, welcome.
Michelle, I didn't know you were going to visit Penny when you said you were going out of town, so hopefully Penny's keeping you on track this week.
Fallen Angel, that's crazy. I go to Myrtle Beach every summer.
Nice. We loved it there. We really loved it there.
That was my first time. Was that your first time?
It was my first time too.
Yeah, last year was our first time at Myrtle Beach, and I really, really enjoyed it. I think we're going to definitely go back.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, the body dysmorphia is definitely real. And if you've ever competed, it is really hard. I mean, it's something that I have to talk with my clients. Like, your abs are going to fade, those lines are going to fade, and you're just going to be very upset about it. Even myself, you guys, like, I just like spent all this time shaving all that weight off. It is kind of hard to be like, yeah, this is going to go away temporarily while I build more muscle. So like I said, it definitely takes a toll on you mentally, and you just have to know and trust the process that it's going to be okay.
Yeah, and by the way, when we walked into that Planet Fitness, we were feeling kind of, feeling down a little bit on vacation. Why the heck we going to the gym? But when we walked in and saw those jacked physiques, holy smokes! That's probably the best workout I got in a long time, because I'm not definitely not going to walk into a gym with a bunch of jacked people and not show them what's up.
Yeah, for sure. You know, one of the challenges a lot of my female clients have, especially if they're very thin and they're trying to build muscle, it's the letting go and of the macros and the constant dieting. And, you know, I'll go in and be like, all right, we're going to up your calories by 200, and it keeps ticking up. And they're like, oh my God, but I'm eating like 2,000 calories a day. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Like, we're going to build muscle. And yes, you know, your abs are going to go away for a little bit, but I guarantee you'll come back stronger. You just have to trust the process. So that is hard for them to let go of that physique sometimes, to, you know, come back with a bigger, stronger package. And it's equally as hard to have that shredded, lean physique and be like, I'm going to go building some muscle and let go of that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to a coworker today, or this week, excuse me, and I said, I'm already tired of balking, dude.
It's been like 2 weeks, guys.
3 weeks. I feel like a stuffed sausage. You know, I'm not hungry, but I got to eat this meal. And talking to him, he's a big sports guy, and he said, well, it's just part of the game, isn't it?
Right.
I said, yeah, you're right. You're 100% correct. This is just part of the sport.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go through this caloric surplus if you want to grow a little bit. Obviously, nobody's getting fat,
Right?
but you got to grow a little bit at a caloric surplus in order to put on that weight, put on that muscle.
I mean, James and I have this conversation all the time. But like, I'm getting like too fluffy. There's like chunks of butter back here. I'm like, you look good. Like, stop. You look good. Don't worry. I'll let you know if it's like you're pushing it too much, can't tie your shoelaces kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard.
Aileen says, for me, it's losing muscle size on legs. They used to be bigger.
That is hard too.
Jay Cutler's the first one to say it, brother. After 40, your legs start to lose size.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Jay Cutler. Coming from Jay Cutler, I said, no freaking way, get out of here, whatever. But it's happening to me as well. The older I get, the legs just can't keep up.
Mm-hmm.
Penny said, LOL. Fallen Angel, I think some people want so much muscle that it's not enough, and they think they aren't getting enough gains. Yes.
Yeah, 100%. That's very true, too.
I forget the name of the documentary, but there's one on Netflix. The guy is 300 pounds, literally 300 pounds, and he's not extremely ripped, but he's cut up.
It's not like
at 300 pounds. I think it is bigorexia,
Yeah.
And he's looking at the camera, looking at the mirror, going, I'm so small. I'm so small.
Yeah, he's like, I want to throw up right now. Like, looking at myself, and we're like, what?
And I'm like, dude, you
look great.
You're 300 pounds, and you're not fat.
Yeah, he was ripped.
You got to be kidding me, looking at yourself thinking you're small.
Yeah. So, I guess the thing that you got to realize is that the mental strength has to grow alongside the physical strength. So I have to have that conversation with my clients a lot of times, and I'll kind of lay out the expectations on what's going to happen and ask them, like, can you mentally get through that? Is that going to be okay? Like, do you have the support structure for that? And if not, then maybe we like pump the brakes. And even though we could build faster or diet harder, like we're going to take our time so the mental strength can build alongside the physical strength.
Dave and Buster, I learned you can shorten your workout if you learn mind and muscle. The same exercise can target different muscles, so you need to stop and do a different exercise.
Very true.
Yeah. And if you got the mind and muscle and you smoke that muscle, I don't care if it's one set, you're done. Right. You did your work. You did the breakthrough set. You did your work. Now go home and recover. Mm-hmm. Well said, David. Fallen Angel, a lot of it is mental. Most of it's mental, yes. Bro. You're tired. You don't want to get up. You don't want to go to the gym. You're sore. You didn't sleep the night before. I mean, et cetera. Right. You gotta have that discipline, that mental strength to get up and say, I'm going to the gym no matter what.
Right.
Real Deal Prime. Welcome, Real Deal Prime. I'll be in the gym in 10 minutes. I'm very slow with the declines, like slow motion. All right.
Very good. All right, you guys. So that's number 5. Be careful what you wish for and just make sure that mental game stays on point with the physical strength that you're gaining as well. Number 6 for you guys is the scale will lie, right? The scale will lie. Your weight can totally go up, but yet you look leaner. You could be 5 pounds heavier and look better. So make sure you're using other tools other than your scale to track your progress.
So many people get caught up in the scale. I'm going to throw the scale in the trash, man. I mean, it is a tool, but look in the mirror, use pictures, use a measuring tape. Most of the time when the scale fluctuates, it's water anyway. It's not fat. The second part of carb is hydrate. Carbs put water into your muscle cells.
Yes.
So when you eat carbs,
you're pulling all that water in.
The scale goes up. Is it fat?
No.
No, it's water. And most of the time you look better, just like Camille said.
Yeah, I literally just had this conversation with a client last week. I was taking her measurement. It had been about a month since she started, and she was only down, I want to say 4 pounds, but we lost like 6 inches in the tape measure. And I was like, wow. And she was like, wow, I only lost 4. I was expecting more. I was like, wait, time out. Like, let's stop and talk about this. Like, your clothes don't fit the same. Everything's visually like cinched in and tighter. And we literally lost several inches. Like, this is incredible progress for a month. So, we need to like reset that mindset there that scale doesn't matter. It's really like the tape measures, the photos, and how you look and feel.
Yeah, and if you think for 2 seconds, I'd rather lose 6 inches than 4 pounds anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, Angel, this morning was bias tries, pyramid style. All right.
Nice. Brought back the pyramids, huh?
With some compound movements added. Fantastic, Angel. Way to get it in, baby. Aileen, also a big workout. The next morning, the scale can go down or up.
Yeah, we're up. A lot of times on leg day, I'll go up slightly just from inflammation.
Yep. When a muscle is sore, the cell surrounds itself with water while it heals. Right. So you can be holding water from the big, heavy leg day the day before.
Right.
And the same thing with Aileen. It might go down because you crushed it.
Yeah, you burned a lot of calories.
Or for me, if I was a physical day at work, I walk, I don't track steps because I'm walking miles every stinking day. I'm way over 20,000 steps every day. But if I get a heavy week, the scale will go down. If I get a light week, the scale will go up just from simply not moving as much.
Right. So yeah, just remember the scale is just a tool, one of many. So I encourage you to use photos, look at your strength gains, as well as like pay attention to that biofeedback that your body is giving you. Like, do you feel better? Right? How are you performing in the gym? Are you able to keep intensity very high? And then how does your physique look? And if you're kind of suffering from that tip number 5, the body dysmorphia, ask like a non-biased person to look at some like comparison photos of you and see what they say. So it'll help for sure.
Yeah. Dave and Buster, wear blinders at the gym. You're competing with yourself, not others. That's so huge. My famous saying is, and these are competitors, as long as you beat your physique from the prior year, you're winning.
Yeah.
And guess what happens when you continuously beat your physique?
You become the winner.
You start beating everybody else. But all you need to worry about is beating you.
Yeah.
Real deal. Keep the YouTube shorts coming. You got it right. My shirt is drenched after the workout. Way to get it in, baby.
For sure. So yeah, remember the scale's just a tip. The scale will lie. That is like, tip number 6 for you guys. I spent way too many years caring about what the scale said and not going based off of like strength progress and visual progress. So definitely don't, if you're sensitive to that, maybe weigh yourself once a week, once a month, whatever. Just remember, it's just a tool. It's not the end all say all.
Yeah, I think we hammered that point home.
For sure.
Honey, we have a Chuck E. Cheese bash to host. Have a great day, guys.
Have fun, you guys. Bye, Penny. Bye, Michelle.
Have a good one. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. All right. Tip number 7 for you guys. Pick the right people to learn from. Not everyone's qualified to be a coach, you guys. And it's hard today. It is so hard because Instagram and TikTok is just full of shredded people. And I'll be honest, like 90% of it is garbage advice,
Man, I want to throw so many people under the bus right now, but I'm not going to. Just be careful.
Yeah.
Make sure they're educated. That's number 1. I see so many people, online coach. Are you certified?
Yeah, what's the credential?
Are you a certified trainer, let alone a certified coach? Have you had any experience? I mean, I think I told the story before. I got contacted from a guy who wanted help with posing. And it said on his bio, online coach. I said, oh, cool, you're a coach. What are you certified in? Oh, I'm not certified.
What kind of coach are you?
What's your degree in? Oh, I don't have a degree. Oh, well, how many shows have you done? Well, this is my first one. Well, what the heck are you online coaching, dude? Why does your bio say online coach when you're not educated? You never competed before, and you're saying online coach. Like, who are you coaching, and how can you coach them?
Yeah.
So just be careful, y'all.
Yeah, and definitely find someone whose goals kind of align with yours, that they're going to understand your lifestyle and that they can explain the why behind everything. Like as a coach, I am never offended when my clients like, why are we doing this exercise? Why is this exercise second versus third? Like, please, by all means, like keep asking me those questions. Like I enjoy the science behind it. And I love explaining and teaching people. Like my goal is always to teach and instruct so much that you don't need me anymore, is what I tell all my clients.
That should be the goal of every trainer. And once again, we said it last week, vet your coach. If you ask them, like I just asked the client who wanted posing help, how many shows have you done? 0. Oh, what are you certified? Who are you certified with? No one. Oh, well,
red
next.
flags, red flags.
Next. We're going to the next one.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you guys, tip number 8 for you. Be honest about your goals. Like, stop copying others. Train for you, you guys. You know, do you want to be strong? Do you just want to look good naked? I don't know. Win a show. Like, maintain a year. Like, what is your goal? Make sure it's specific to you and your lifestyle and what you're looking to do. And that requires you to get real with yourself, right? Because it's going to help target the training, the diet, the recovery, the everything.
And be honest and realistic with your goals. If it is literally your first week into the gym and you want to look like Ronnie Coleman, great. Let's get some closer goals. Ronnie Coleman, okay, we're going to train 30 years and you might look like Ronnie Coleman. You still probably won't.
Right.
But 30 years from now, you might. Let's talk about what do you want to do this year? You know?
Yeah, I have a lot of clients that will come to me and they'll ask for diet help and they want to tone and, like, you know, tighten up, and we'll start talking about the diet, and then you come to find out, like, hey, they have a real kind of almost addiction with some of the junk food and the things. And it's like, I have to say, like, okay, realistically, we're not going to change that diet overnight. Like, so instead of trying to do that where you're going to be miserable and unhappy, I usually will tell them, like, let's just pick one thing. And that's what we're going to focus on for the next couple of weeks until you're okay with not having that one thing or whatever we swapped it out for. And then over time, we string a ton of those together. And next thing they're like, who am I? Like, I just walked past the dessert table and didn't crave a dessert. Like, but they had to, they had to be realistic and honest about their goals and where their challenges were. And I'm never going to look at you, you know, like you're crazy if you come to me and say, like, what the truth is or what you're struggling with. Like, that's where we get real and we're able to tailor programs properly. So be honest with yourself and your coaches on what you want.
Yes, and I would prefer you to be honest. I've had a few clients that say, hey, I drink 6 beers every night and I'm not stopping. I'm going to have a bottle of wine every night and I'm not stopping.
We had a bodybuilding chick that did that too. She's like, I am not giving up the booze. I don't care, like, what you tell me, that's not happening. So work around that. It's like, well, thank you for being honest.
And we'd rather know so we can track that and put it in the calories and put it in the macros. Should you cut it out? Yes. Yes, you should. But if you're not going to, please tell your coach you're not going to.
So that's number 8. Just be honest about your goals with yourself. Number 9, this is more towards like the competitive bodybuilding. You know, your division may not fit you forever. I think we talked about this a little bit last week when we were talking about ERS moving from classic to the open, but you know, you're going to grow and evolve over time. So your goals are going to change over time. So don't be afraid of that change. Train for where your body wants to be. Not necessarily of like where you think you fit in.
Yeah, and once again, your first week in the gym, don't tell me I want to be Mr. Olympia bodybuilder. All right, let's talk about men's physique next year, right? Let's start there.
Right.
Maybe we can get to the Mr. Olympia bodybuilding, but you're going to start men's physique your first year in. You're not going to put on enough mass in 1 year to be able to do it. Now, if you want to hold off and then do bodybuilding, okay, but your first week in the gym, you're not going to be able to do that either.
Right.
Dave, I learned you're going to need a new wardrobe.
Yes, you will.
Extra large shirts with medium waist pants. Look for the athletic cut shirts and you'll be swimming at the waist. Very well said, Dave. You know, when I got serious, I was deployed. I was overseas. When I came back, I had to cut my T-shirts right here. Just a little cut because my arms wouldn't fit on them anymore.
No problem to have.
It was a great feeling. I didn't have enough money to buy new shirts, so I had to cut my sleeve, just a little slit to open them up so they would fit. It was a fantastic feeling. But yes, and pants. Your legs are going to grow too big, so you're going to have a loose waist. It's just part of bodybuilding. You're going to wear a belt to cinch those pants up and to get them around your legs.
Yeah, this is crazy, you guys. Like, I have clothes in size 2 through 10, depending on where I am, like on the spectrum. And I'll just use those vacuum bags and put the smaller sizes away when I'm bulking and the larger sizes away when I'm cutting. But I was excited because I didn't fit into a 2 this year. Like, I definitely was a size 2 in the waist, but the smallest pants I could fit over my thighs this year were 4. Last time I competed 4 years ago, those 2s fit the thigh. So I was like, hey, like at the same weight, these pants don't fit anymore. That's growth. And so that's exciting.
Fantastic. Aileen, all my shirts are cut under the arm too. Hey.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a good tip if you can't afford a bigger shirt or you like the look.
Yeah. All right, you guys, we made it to number 10 on our list. Consistency is the only shortcut. I'm sorry. I wish we had shortcuts for you. But, you know, consistency is the only thing that over time is going to work. There's no magic. There's no hack. There's just reps and time, y'all.
Yes. I mean, it's part of the beauty and what I love about this sport. And a physique, a good physique, you have to earn it.
Yeah.
You can't buy it. You can't cheat it. You can't hack it. You have to 100% earn it. And I think Arnold said this too. Listen, upper class, middle class, lower class. As soon as you walk into that gym, it does not matter. You have to earn your physique. I don't care if you're rich. I don't care if you're poor. I don't care how much plastic surgery you buy. You have to earn a good physique.
Yeah, I tell my clients all the time, like, there's no widget or gadget or hack that you're going to do. Like, put that aside and get in there and do those deep squats if you want glutes. Like, and they don't like to hear it. They're like, well, what do you think about this new hip raise kick back thing that I saw on Instagram? It's like, no, get in there and do your squats. That's what's going to grow those glutes. I'm sorry, it's boring. You're going to be doing it for years and years and years. But guarantee if you just stick to the, you know, the effective exercises that work, the basics, like, you're going to see far more growth than trying to do some type of hack.
Yeah. Why do you think people are supplement crazy? They think it's a hack. You can take all the creatine there is in the world. If you're not training intense enough, it's not going to get you a great physique. You can eat all the protein powder in the world. If you're not training intense enough, you're not going to have a great physique. It's about the hard work and consistency.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's not going to be 2 good weeks in the gym that does it. It's not going to be 1 month of contest prep that's going to do it. We're talking years of consistent execution, right? With those good quality, intense reps, you guys.
Yeah. I think I told this story before. I had a client said I did everything perfect this week. I hit all my workouts, my diet, my calories, my macros, my supplements. I got a weekend perfect. I said, congratulations. That's fantastic. Let's get to the workout. But in my head, I'm going, man, I'm 10 years perfect. You're celebrating 1 week. That's great. It's a great start. But let's talk about years of being perfect, right?
Yeah, I had a client, same thing, like, perfect week. I hit my macros, whatever. Like, how come the scale's not moving? I said, give me 4 weeks and then let's talk about it. Tell you what, after 4 weeks, she actually was down like 5 pounds and was like, whoa, the scale started moving all of a sudden. I was like, it's not all of a sudden. You just strung together 4 weeks of consistency there, you know, and tracked with precision, and that's what made the difference. So
that's what makes the difference. It takes time.
For sure. So you guys, I hope that today was helpful. We took you through the 10 kind of tips or mistakes that people make when they're trying to make those gains. And believe me, like, we wouldn't be telling you these if we ourselves didn't make them. We have made these mistakes or struggled with them for years, but we figured it out, ways to get around that. So hopefully you can at least take that away today.
100%.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that actually this coming week will wrap up our bodybuilding series. I've got the women's bodybuilding tutorial and some shorts related to that. And then we're going to switch over to James's all dumbbell series. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And if you haven't already, definitely check out our apparel store. We dropped a link to it in the chat here, and it'll be in the video description. But we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week, guys. Bye, everyone.